YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We've got the Blitzkrieg from WOV Racing, 1/9, totally rock and roll on 4S, or not, if you decide to use this bar to help keep your wheelies down. Four-wheel drive, super exciting, super robust, quick clicks to pop the lid. We're running ours on a soft pack. It's got a hard lid on it you can use. 5000 4S, and without further ado, here goes nothing, guys. This is a ready to run. It comes with the transmitter. Stay tuned for our Unbox build radio setup, and we'll show you how to bind if you need to. Of course, this thing is super powerful, very good, nimble creation here. As you can see, I'll drive over my own boot. The thing has all sorts of control authority, and the differentials are gonna keep you happy. As you can see, 100% power is like that, okay? So did you see the tires?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. I've already flipped it over on accident. It took all of 10 seconds. So guys, this is what we call a basher, and I think this one's actually called a monster truck, okay? So when I say monster, I mean I'm driving in grass and the thing is barely, I can almost wheelie backward, folks. That's 4S power. Looks more like 6 to me. Look at those tires. Holy cow. I'm gonna rip the tires off of the wheels, it looks like. And so we'll just get a little bit of bump here. Boom. Man, I see why they have the wheelie bar.
Yeah.
That is nuts, guys. Okay, so 4-wheel drive, and you're gonna need it. Eat your heart out, UPS and FedEx. Okay, so when you control the throttle, you can actually get it to stay on the track, but it is powerful. Jeez, that is nuts. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's still rolling. Here it is. Now, what you want to do is not run into your leg with this, okay? The braking is absolutely necessary, obviously on the brushless. We're talking about 55 miles an hour or more. Full braking, and I can barely make it. Our runway is too short, camera crew. I'm trying not to tear up our yard. Good Lord. That is nuts. I am trying to be a little bit reserved here, and you may not be able to tell from how fast that thing is. Oh, full braking. Good Lord. Wow, that is fun. Look at the dust coming out of the grass. That's crazy. By the way, this is a hay field. Legit hay. It will feed animals. Braking, and it flipped. Yes! So much fun. Oh my goodness. Jeez, look how much it kicks up the dirt. Dan, what are you doing to my yard? I thought this thing was gonna be just a regular, everyday run-of-the-mill radio-controlled car, but turns out it's kind of insane. We'll go real slow just to show you can do nimble. You can drive over people's feet with it because it's super soft. Okay, so let's go down by the creek. We do have some wet areas. By the way, you can do that too, in case you want to. Oh, look at the mess you made on my driveway, car. Oh, that was so cool. All right, here we go. Oh, the UPS stick, dang it. We're trying to teach UPS and FedEx what not to do, okay, guys? Do not burn out in my driveway, please. Oh my goodness, that is nuts. I was trying to catch that bird, did you see?
You almost got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna drive real slow. Now you may have noticed I'm being sort of reserved with this thing. That's because I want it to survive into the ditch where we have mud. Yes. Drive straight through the water. Oh yeah, baby. No problems at all. Hold on, let's just do this. That is an insane ditch. That ditch is not a drivable ditch. Uh-oh. I think I may have killed it finally. I wonder if I hit the power switch or something. Oh, there it goes. Maybe it's dead. Maybe I ran it out of juice.
Battery? Really?
Yeah, that would, well, how long would we run it?
4 minutes.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have not been nice to it. I'm just curious. It's definitely steering still. That's what you, oh, did you see there was just a little juice out of there? Yeah, but see, it's definitely not running. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you just how easy it is to pop the top. We're gonna go ahead and press this button, pull the lid, just like this, right there, and off you go. And then we're gonna turn it off with the power button. If it'll turn off. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, let's unplug the power. Okay, we've unplugged it. Let's plug it back in and see what happens. Nothing so far. Press the power button, it's waking up. And there it goes, guys. Okay, so evidently when you drive underwater with it, there is a chance of some weirdities happening. So let's go ahead and get back to work on it. I gotta say though, I am super impressed with how insane the power is. This is only 4S. Can you imagine if it was 6? Good Lord. Nuts. It's like ripping its own tires off. And we haven't had one that's like quite this insane before. This is from WOV Racing, which is a German company, from what we understand. Kind of having trouble, there we go. That just dropped down. With 2 hands, it's easier, I've learned. Okay, so back to where we were. The braking is very intuitive, like it feels good. I just can't believe that you can get the torque to do a wheelie in the midst of, see, it stopped again.
So maybe it is the battery.
Maybe it is the battery, maybe it is dead. Well, so we only ran for like 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, probably 4, because we were talking a little bit at the beginning, then you just ran it again there.
So for us, 5,000 for 4 minutes?
That seems
a little short, but I gotta say, that's an intense 4 minutes.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
So, thoughts about this model so far are, it is amazing, super fun, very powerful, and I tend to think we got a little moisture issue going. So I'm almost wondering if we need to figure that out real quick and we'll come right back. Okay guys, so we just pulled off the lid real quick and we dumped out water just to see if that would change anything. And it's kind of, I think what's going on is we're probably getting to a current limit is kind of what I'm guessing, because it drives around just fine, it brakes fine, it goes into reverse fine. So everything is working. I think it's just a matter of we're probably getting so dang aggressive with it that we're drawing our voltage down to the point where it hits a low voltage cutoff. Now, I'm gonna go down this really steep hill, and this thing is just, hey, watch out. I'm gonna go up that hill right where you are there, cam crew. That is incredible. That's probably one of the most capable cars we've ever had. And it's on 4S, folks, which is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and kick this here. Let's kick some dirt. It just stays up on it. Okay, so as you can see, the thing is doing just fine. I just think what's going on is we must have got water just in that right spot, guys. Because the truth is, with regard to the truck, you see it stopped again. So I don't know what the deal is, but I gotta say, the thing has definitely got some power and some juiciness to it that we haven't experienced before. Because yeah, she stopped again. So just curious what's going on, guys. If you've ever seen this before with the WOV Racing, I wonder if it's just the water, because it was right after we went through the water it started doing that. But then once you power it up, then it does fine. There it goes. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna drive it for a little bit and drive back out and try not to flip it over, which to be honest with you is the hardest part about driving this thing. And yeah, camera crew, don't be afraid to jump out of the way, because it's fast and crazy. But I gotta say, folks, it's very easy to control. It's very fun to drive. It's definitely got enough power to do what you want. And the thing that's nice about cars that have power is that you don't have to be so reserved about where you run them, you know? And I gotta say, these are some of the grippiest tires I've ever used on any car. That's reverse, guys. The reverse is faster than we've seen on many of the cars that we've ever driven. Okay, so I think in closing, guys, if you're looking for an amazing experience, look no further than the WOV Racing, the WOV Racing. This thing is awesome. They come in a car and a truck finish. It's a monster car, monster truck. And we are gonna show both of them on this channel. So if you haven't already seen it on Brian Phillips RC, just wait a little bit longer and you will see it very soon. But we'll go ahead and link to both of them right now. If you're curious in buying one, then check it out in the links to the video description below. Obviously, we're gonna go do it a little bit more driving. I'm gonna try to stay out of water and keep the thing upright for the moment. And you remember how I warned them about the dirt, making those things clog? That definitely was true. Yep. Once you get dirt in these clips, they're a little bit less useful until you have a chance to knock the dirt out. See that? There it goes. I knew that was gonna be a bit of a problem once I flipped it upside down in the dirt. I did it right over there, guys. So I gotta say, compared to what we've had in the past, this thing is pretty dang amazing. And I gotta say, even these clips, they're so much better than cotter pins, because cotter pins are easy to lose. And even if you have them clipped on with a silicone ring or something, they're still kind of a pain. Let's go ahead and do a little nature walk for a minute, camera crew. So I am intentionally driving like a baby right now. And I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna limit my throttle to 50%. That's 50% and it barely gets wheelies, okay? But the thing is still very fun. So if you guys give this to your kid, you better put this setting to 50% or you may not get your car back in one piece, folks. See, that's full throttle at 50%, folks. So yeah, definitely 50% is a lot of power. Now 75% will show you that. It should do a wheelie. Okay, uphill, still does a wheelie. Very amazing, very fun. Okay, let's go down by the pond, back to 100% power. We gonna go over the bridge?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, I wonder if we should just drive over the bridge and then stay on this side. That is so cool, guys. This is 2.4 gigahertz on the transmission protocol, Futaba FHSS protocol. And by the way, that is a rough area over there. That is bulldozer tracks we're driving over. It's not like this is just a real smooth place with nothing to it. That is a very rough environment. And look at that. Oh, that was so cool. Oh, yes. Guys, that is so much fun. Holy cow. Okay, watch this, guys. Watch this. Four-wheel burnout. Boom! Got to keep the wheels on the ground, though. And this is the first vehicle we've had that will drive through the pond without a problem, folks. I got to say, that is pretty stinking impressive. I am being reserved on the way downhill because I don't want to flip it upside down and have to go reset the battery. But guys, look at this. This dam, I don't think it's going to do the dam. The silt dam is probably not going to work. You want me to try it?
I mean, you're the one that gets to go get it.
Yeah, I don't want to go get it. I'm just going to go over the edge. These rocks are huge, folks. They're like 5, 6, 7, 8-inch rocks. But if you don't have a gigantic 8/10 of an acre half pipe in your yard, then you might want to get one because they're pretty fun. Although I got to say, it's a little more expensive than we were hoping for. God, this thing is so much fun. It is so fast, so powerful. And then even after crash like that, it just goes like, oh yeah, gravity, screw you. It's like, I feel like, okay, so if I liken this to, you know, like a session of telling people who's boss, I'm like, gravity is the FAA, and this car is like me. That is so much fun, guys. It's like, no soup for you, gravity. Oh my goodness, it just keeps putting out. Whatever. Holy cow. So much fun, guys. I mean, I'm serious. Okay, so I'm noticing when I give reverse, the braking, if you kind of come to a slow stop, the braking gets a little bit wonkadelic, okay?
Tree.
Oh, I was afraid I was gonna hit that tree. Sorry, camera crew, I did not mean to do that. I was gonna yell at myself if I did that. Okay, so we're gonna go controlled this time, crawly style. Man, those tires are awesome. That is so much fun, guys.
Super impressive.
Okay, so we finally flipped it over. Okay, so it's still running, which is nice. I don't think it's gonna flip itself over, and that's okay because of where I'm sitting. But I gotta say, what an amazing experience. Camera crew is gonna go tend to the tree. I'm gonna go tend to the car, and we'll be right back. Hi people, I'm over here.
And I'm not.
I cannot believe how capable this thing is. This is a literal work in progress, folks. There is Cat D8 or D6 dozer tracks. They are big. You can barely ride a bicycle across them, let alone drive a radio-controlled car uphill, accelerating to the point of wheelies, folks. That is incredible. I'm not even at full throttle. That's the crazy thing. I'm at like 60% throttle. Because otherwise it wants to wheelie the whole way up. Okay, guys, just to give you an idea. Up here, this is very, very rough, okay? This is quite literally a dirt pile, okay? That pile is huge. This is so stinking cool. I cannot believe it's doing this. And then through the muck. Oh, please don't get stuck. Yes! Oh, that is awesome. Oh my goodness. That is so much fun, guys. I gotta say, if you haven't experienced the WOV racing experience, you gotta get one of these cars. Very economical for what you're gonna get. The only catch I can see is that you do have to provide your own battery, okay? So it's not fully ready to run. And if you're anything like me, you're gonna probably try to go out and immediately break the thing. So I would say, even though it's supposedly like waterproof or whatever they say, I would just maybe not drive through puddles just to avoid the possibility of issues. Because the truth is, I think it probably will do some water, but I don't want to tempt fate again because that was a pain. And it hasn't shut off since we were up on the road, so I think we're probably set again. What do you think, camera crew?
I mean, now that it's dried out, it seems like it's totally fine. We've driven...
I just cannot believe how far it shoots the dirt. That is so much fun.
And we've driven a lot of stuff in this empty pond over the last couple of months, and there's nothing has been like this.
Nothing has done this good.
Close.
Even in reverse, it does better.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're brand new to Brian Phillips RC and you've never seen our pond yet, why don't you shine the camera over at the house so they can see where we are. That's the house.
There's the house.
That's where we're normally filming, is up on the top of it.
Yep.
I'm kind of down in the bottom of the pond, and this pond is gonna be 25 feet deep. Right now, it's probably about 14 feet deep. The lowest point's gonna be where the stake is right here, guys.
Yep.
That's gonna be 25 feet deep right there. So it's gonna be like 3 times deeper than it is right there. And this whole area up here is gonna be part of the pond, okay? I'm driving on the shoreline right now.
There's the water line right there that you just went past.
And then it's gonna go out and around until it hits the dam, which is gonna be here. And the dam's gonna run, actually I'm not quite to it. Now I'm on the center of the dam. Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys see how awesome that's gonna be? Oh man, I just wanna gun it the whole way, but I know it's gonna end up getting flipped. Ooh, it's starting to slow down, it's limping. I think we might actually be out of battery. I'm full throttle there. That's full throttle, folks.
Okay, so we're right at 19 minutes on video, plus a couple of minutes
walking around.
So like 15 minutes maybe of drive time for sure.
And that was hard driving, folks.
Oh yeah.
I was not being easy on this car at all.
No.
I mean, wow.
That was cool.
That was an incredible experience. Now, is it the best that we've seen? It might be. Now, I know there's way more expensive. There probably is better. But I'm going to say this. It's the best I've seen. And that's crazy. I mean, I've seen a lot of cars in my day. I know we focus on airplanes and helis and things like that. But this thing is fantastic, okay? So if you guys are interested in WOV racing, check it out. Links in the video description below. You will not regret it. It is just Fantastic. Yep, no throttle.
Yeah.
I think this thing's
That
actually
would
dead
make
now.
sense now.
So, very cool experience. Check it out from the links. You'll help support the guys at Buddy RC, who are our buddies, Dan and Clay especially, because Clay builds me helicopters, and Dan's also a nice guy. So you can help support them and when you buy from these links. And we just gotta say, man, what an amazing experience. 4S power, guys. I guarantee you when you watch that thing creaming, just blowing dirt everywhere, you'd have thought for sure that's on 6S. That's 4S, guys. Incredible experience. So cool. And we hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see the Unbox build radio setup, we did show how to bind the transmitter, okay? So if you've got a new transmitter or different transmitter you're trying to bind with FHSS, then you will be able to see how to get to the bind plug. It is a task, okay? Because you got to unscrew a bunch of stuff, and we'll show you exactly how to do it. And we ran an extension cord out, so it's easier for us if we need to do it in the future. And then we are also going to review the car. So if you're curious about the car and you haven't found it yet, check out brianphillipsrc.com, or there'll be a splash screen that comes up at the end of the video. That's going to be a playlist for this truck, and you should be able to navigate to it somehow, whether it's brianphillipsrc.com, which is our website, and you can go there and you can search by type, manufacturer, brand, that sort of thing, and they're all sorted together, so you can find them really quick. And all you do is you look for the thumbnail of the video, you click on it, and you'll be back over at YouTube watching the video. Or you could just buy it from there. We'll have links and stuff like that. We'll link to the batteries we used or the battery we recommend. And then of course, if there's a transmitter you have to buy, which you don't on this, it just comes with it because it's a ready to run minus the battery, okay? So you don't have to buy the receiver. Now, we've also shown where the receiver is on this, and if you wanna set up your Spectrum transmitter or your other brand of transmitter and you don't wanna use FHSS, that's fine too. You can peel out the receiver from this. You can set it up with your own and get it set up that way and use your ground receiver for it. Or if you want to get really crazy and set up some AS3X or whatever they call it on ground vehicles from Spectrum, you can tear out the receiver and put your own choice in. So very cool stuff. And we do show you how to do it in the Unbox build radio setup portion of the video. We didn't switch the receiver out, but we'll show you how to get to it because it's hidden in there. Anything else I missed?
I think that covers it.
Very, very cool car.
Very cool.
Amazing experience. Way more capable than I thought.
Yeah.
And I usually assume the sun, moon, and the stars from all these things we review. And this thing did not let down. Very crazy. And I gotta say this, when the pond is done, it's gonna be super fun, but we're not gonna be able to drive on the bottom of it with these cars, which would be a bit of a bummer. But we will be able to drive across it. I bet this thing is fast enough with robust enough tires that we'll be able to water plane with this thing. I'm serious, I think it will. That would be so cool.
That's pretty crazy.
We can't wait to get the pond full. He's coming back to dig in a few more weeks, like in a week or so. Hopefully he'll be back. We got weathered out because of frost, and that broke my heart because we cannot wait to get the dam built so we can build the dam runway and we can extend the front runway and put in the helipad, which is gonna be the transition between the two. And then also then the next thing will be the full-scale hangar, and then the full-scale airstrip will be up at the crest of that hill. So if you guys are curious about this stuff as we go through this process of putting together this aerodrome, then you can ask questions in the links. You can ask questions in email or in the comments below. If you want to fly into the property, hit me up in an email. We'll start a dialogue because that's one thing we're looking into right now. I think we got like 4 or 5 people lined up right now. So we're pretty excited to try that. And the reason we're looking for that is if you're a full-scale pilot with some sort of a STOL apparatus, or if you got something you can fly on a grass strip, I want to talk to you because before we spend a lot of money on grading,
yeah,
I want to make sure that we're not investing in the wrong direction. So hit me up. This is our plea for help. It's not so much a plea for help, but we do want to seek good advice.
Good advice, yep.
And we know that there's people that have done it before that know better, and they're going to be able to help lead us in the right direction. That's one of the best things about this YouTube channel that we've experienced over the years is just the plethora of super capable, competent, in different areas, people that are watching. And it's so crazy. Some of the people we've met that watch our silly little channel here on Brian Phillips RC. And it is not only flattering to know that we have such an awesome audience, but it's also humbling to know that you guys are there watching. So we're just living the dream. Everybody's doing their thing. And we hope we can help make your lives just a little bit better by helping you sort through some of the Chinese garbage and some of the Chinese awesome and German awesome, depending on who makes it. But in this case, I would say pretty stinking awesome. And we did have problems with it up front when we drove through water. It's supposed to be water resistant. I mean, they show it underwater in the picture. Now, I don't know if that means water resistant or like we drew a picture and it looked like it was underwater. But either way, we did put an extension cord for a bind cable on this one. Might have undermined the seal a little bit, but I don't think that's what happened. I'm just not sure exactly. And by the way, when you see our unbox portion and you see how hard it was to get that receiver out, you'll kind of understand why we're sort of like, yeah, I don't think that was it. So who knows what happened, but it's been running great. And 20 minutes of runtime is pretty stinking awesome, especially when you're running the way I am. All right, guys, that's all you get. Stay tuned to Unbox coming up next. And if you're not gonna watch the unbox part, we appreciate you being here with us. We know that's not for everybody, but definitely check out the links. If you wanna support us on Patreon, PayPal one time, YouTube Super Thanks, also just like Patreon, it's like a monthly support, and then YouTube Super Thanks is just a one-time thing. But we still firmly believe, and we say this 2 or 3 times every video, if you wanna help support us financially, the best way to do it is to buy cars, trucks, helicopters, fixed wing, VTOLs, whatever we happen to be reviewing, leaf blowers, weed whackers, from the links in the video description below. That is how we support this insane apparatus of Brian Phillips RC, and we keep the RC ecosystem going, because even though we're not flying today, we really do want to keep the FAA off our tail, and the best way to do that is to grow the largest audience of serious advocates for the hobby, whether that's flying RC or driving RC. We love it all, and we're only one idiot away from some person saying that's illegal with some made up bureaucrat, okay? So we're gonna help fight that tooth and nail, and we hope you guys will too. So anyway, that's all we got for you. Stay tuned, so much more from Brian Phillips RC right away. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We're gonna unbox this thing right now. It's gonna be amazing. Here on Brian Phillips RC, welcome to our little YouTube channel. We unbox things, we open them, we set them up, we fly them, and sometimes we just drive them. Amazing brushless 4S power plant from WOV Racing or WOV Racing.
Whoa.
I don't know.
It's like OMP.
WOV.
We'll just...
OMP, so like OMP?
Yeah.
Like OMP hobby?
Yeah, so we'll just call them WOV.
OMP. Dan, is that how you say it?
Dan, yes.
Dan.
It's all 3 letters.
We could just ask Clay. So guys, if you want to help support Brian Phillips RC, support the distributors that work with us, links in the video description below for this amazing product. That is sweet looking.
That is cool.
55 plus miles an hour. That's even 5 miles an hour faster than the Tyrant. We're gonna open this thing right now. If you guys are brand new to Brian Phillips RC, obviously you know we do lots of fixed wing. We do lots of helis.
If they're new, they don't know that.
And we do those things right there. Oh,
Silverados.
Silverados. That's right. There's a radio in that Silverado, guys.
And our
relax,
kids
it's awesome.
love it.
Our kids do love it. It is like a super fun product.
Yeah.
Okay, you wanna know what's even more fun? This thing, sorry.
A little excited.
Yeah, I'm getting over a cold, so.
Yep.
All right, guys, so you can see it's in the box, okay? Let's carefully do this doohickey. I'm gonna flip this thing upside down to try to get it out of the box carefully. Okay, so it's out of the box, yay. There's a bag for all of your RC shopping needs.
We got a lot of RC stuff.
Fancy, wow. Okay, and we're just gonna continue onward. Oh, buddy. Ooh, buddy. We have a transmitter. Amazing, beautiful. With a fully intact throttle. Haha, amazing. WOV Racing. Looks like we have a sponge tire here. Nice, good grip. Steering trim, throttle trim, steering rates, G rates, C rate, I'm not sure. Up, down. Throttle limits goes to 50, 75, and 100%. Throttle rates, or reverse, and steering reverse, okay? Looks pretty simple. And 4 AA's. Where are the AA's, camera crew? Just gonna throw that into the file cabinet.
Okay, perfect.
Wow, it looks like you went all out with these. Are these the cheapest batteries you could buy on the history of planet Earth?
High quality AA's that you can buy.
Look at this.
They like pay you to take those.
Yeah, they're actually, they're like, you have to go to the hazmat site and they just like hand them out.
Give them out.
Like, hey kids, would you like a sucker or some double A's?
We go through a lot of batteries.
We do go through a lot of batteries, guys.
And our kids are super good at turning off car transmitters.
Oh yeah, they never leave them on
Never,
by
ever.
flipping this switch and leaving it like that until
They
it
don't
stops
do that.
lighting up ever. Okay, all right, so that's ready. Pretty amazing stuff so far.
Knock it off the counter.
We have a user's manual. What is that? It's a lanyard. Guys, I like lanyards for my air vehicles. I've never really thought I needed them for ground vehicles, but you know what? Let's try this. Let's try gray. Gray this time. Ooh, that matches my baby blue shirt. There's a lot of talk about my shirts on this channel. I'm just gonna have you guys know.
You people
I
really...
don't care. Just want to let you know, I care about cars.
He's gonna pick a shirt and wear it for 20 years.
That's
Trust
right.
Me, I've known the guy.
No matter what, I don't care. If you want me to wear a different shirt, you send it, and then I will wear it off camera. Just like the one Dan sent me.
Yes.
which I've never worn it on camera. Okay, so we got a ring. I think that's how you're supposed to hook it up, and then it's like, whing! Ooh, it's just above the family jewel bank.
But sometimes you get those
And they're like,
and they're
super
like, cheap. It's
that long.
Yeah, they like barely fit our 6-year-old.
Okay, so that's actually pretty nice, and I like that this is thin.
Yeah.
And I like that it's got a quick release, which is kind of cool. And speaking of quick release, I'll just take it off for now. Let's flip this thing over. Because I know you guys are here to hear about the lanyards.
Yes,
obviously. Definitely not for the truck. The instruction manual, if you're a robot, is right here. Just read this dot. Oh, that dot! That made it totally clear.
Red.
Beautiful. Let's peel this off. This was installed with care. It's nice. If you have like cat hair on you, you can use that to get off of your shirt. Wow, that is beautiful. Brushless, big tires. Wow, let's grab my pair. That's awesome. So soft,
Yeah,
so rubbery. Look at this, guys. It's like rubbery. Like, I think that's amazing and beautiful, although there's a lot of slop in this axle set. I'm not sure why that is. That's pretty cool, guys. Watch. Oh, yeah. Love it. Okay. All right. Quick release. Poop. Poop. Come on. There it is. And poop. Okay. Come on. Come on. You can do it. There it is. Ooh, yeah. Look at that, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. That is beautiful. This one has silver paint on the bottom. Okay. Similar to the Tyrant. This one's called the Blitz. Read that.
It's the Blitzkrieg.
The Blitzkrieg.
It's German.
It's the Germans. I love how good the suspension is.
Yeah.
It's really solid and huge.
This is a big truck.
Yeah, it is. And then look how huge this brushless ESC. It's got a cooling fan. Hard wires that go to the brushless motor, rather. Big, huge, giant heatsink with fan. All the components are covered, which is really nice. Protection here for the battery lead. Okay, really nice. Shaft here for, it's like a stiffening strut. 4-wheel drive mechanism, beautiful. And then of course the wheelie bar, which can be taken off if you want to get rid of it. This one doesn't have a spoiler, obviously, on the Tyrants. There is a spoiler that you can choose to leave off if you want. Obviously, there's no spoiler on the truck. Okay, so with respect to the battery, obviously we have the 4 AA's here. You have to provide those yourself. Oh, let's show the manual real quick. If you guys aren't familiar with WOV racing, it's probably pronounced WOV racing based on our previous experience with OMP, also known as OMP Hobby. Just saying. That's what it looks like if there was an attack from Mars and it was exploded. The Blitzkrieg and the Tyrant. Pretty cool, huh? It even shows the breakdown of the entire strut assembly and suspension members.
There's a lot of parts.
Holy cow. Guys, how do they even sell these things? It's like a million pieces. Okay, so bind cable, bind plug rather, I should say. Where does the bind plug go if you need to bind?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Is that thing hidden underneath the receiver? Where the heck is it? Let's look at the exploded view diagram.
Oh.
Over here. Look at this. What does that say? I can't read it. Oh, that's a
LiPo. And then if you have the nickel metal hydride,
Where is that, though?
switch. I don't know.
I don't see that anywhere.
Where's the power button?
The power button's right here. So is it underneath the ESC? Let's do a little investigation, folks. That's why we do Unbox Build Radio setups here on Brian Phillips RC. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab my screwdrivers. Okay. Oh, by the way, let's talk about our battery we're thinking about using. This is a 5000 4S. It's a soft pack. It's got an IC5, okay? And a Hextron's balance lead. It's charging at 5 amps. Currently on the S2200. Good charger, by the way. Dual 200 amp charger, which is nice. And then that will go in here. This is an EC5 compatible plug, okay? So you know what I'm just remembering about that car?
What?
We tried that with Series 2S 5000s, and we had good success, okay? I just wanted to say, if you guys decided you want to do the same thing, we had some hard packs, and they worked fine for that. In fact, if I think about it, we have a couple more of those. So here's some of the batteries we're thinking about using for this opposite the single pack, okay? So I'm actually just gonna, this is a Gen 2, so all we have to do is plug in the lead and let it charge. And then I'm gonna turn on this other charger. This is a Gen 1, so it actually has a balance lead as well, which is pretty unusual. I don't even know if you can get them that way anymore. But if you like the balance leads, then you've got it. So this thing's gonna automatically start charging, and this thing's also gonna automatically start charging. They're both 30C packs, 5000 2S, so we'll have to use an apparatus for series connection. So the positive from one goes to the positive of the discharge lead, and the negative goes to the positive of the next, and the negative from that one goes to the negative of the discharge lead. We'll show you that in action here shortly. So in case you're gonna have to do that. Okay, so this is a 2mm drive. Yep, let's see if underneath here we get to, if we can get to the receiver. So I have to assume the receiver is probably right under this, because this is like a cooling fan here. Okay. Camera crew is trying desperately to get you guys a good shot. I'm gonna actually pull this out before I undo that screw all the way. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks like that's where it is. It's inside of there. What the heck? Oh wait, you go in from the bottom? That is so bizarre. There are screws underneath. So how the heck do you even get to the bind plug? This is so weird. I don't even know how to get to the receiver. You just undo the 4 screws from the bottom, and I bet the whole thing comes out.
The whole bottom plate comes with
Yeah, I bet that's how it goes. I'm gonna leave these screws just finger tight so I don't accidentally have everything fall out. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like this. And so this should come pre-bound to the transmitter, which we're gonna actually, we should probably test that next before we get too excited.
Okay.
What do you think? Because we haven't even shown the people if that battery is gonna fit. Because I wanna do 5000 4S. I think that's a good size. Even though it's a soft pack, it's gonna be a good size for this car. And then we should mate up with the IC5 directly to the EC5. Obviously there's no data pin in the center, which you would get with the IC5, but we don't need a data pin if there's no data transmission, so won't matter. Okay, so let's check on the battery. It's at 95%, good enough to unplug for now. And let's just see how this thing fits. Now you might not be using this pack, a 5000 4S. You might be using some hard pack that you've got. And that's fine. Whatever you guys use is fine with me. I'm just gonna show you what we're gonna use. And pull this thing down till it drops over the edge like that. Drop that down. You know what I'm just remembering? I think we might also have a couple of 3200s, if I remember right, but they are also soft packs. Guys, as you know, we do a lot of airplanes. That's like mostly what we do. And so most of our packs are gonna be soft packs. Okay, so you see that? It's a little rocky because of the shape of the battery, because it's a little bit round. Being that it's a soft pack, I want to see how this goes. I'm not crazy about pushing that lead down into that cavity. Show that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think we're okay because we've got enough room to push it back. So I'm going to go with it for now. Okay. Then I'm going to pull this up. And just until that's kind of like squarish feeling. Oh, yeah, that's a lot easier with just a single pack than doing series adapters and all that. But you can do series adapters if you want. Now, I'm assuming this thing would probably run on 3S, but it doesn't really say it anywhere in the manual. Generally speaking, the lower voltage will just produce less speed, but there are times when the car's electronics will disqualify the use of a different size. Okay, so before we get too excited about tearing things apart, let's make sure it turns on. Okay? So we're just gonna move this manual over here. It's not actually answering our questions too well. Too good, too gooder. All right, so we have the transmitter. We're gonna turn it on by flipping the slide switch over, okay? And then we're gonna get this thing in a safe spot just in case it decides to drive away on us, which has never happened in my entire history of doing this. But I don't want it to start today. Okay, so then plug it in. Booyah. Now, once it's plugged in, there's a power button right here. Power it up. As with any other vehicle, check the control direction. Okay. Very slow on the controls because I'm trying to be, it's touchy. That is gonna be insanely fast. Super excited. I didn't have to reverse anything, which is kind of nice. On the Tyrants, we had to switch our steering. And if that happens to you, all you have to do is just like switch this and it's done. See, watch. Correct? Incorrect. Okay? So just imagine you're sitting in the car, turn the wheel, okay? Pull the trigger, go forward, push the trigger forward for braking, and then reverse. So obviously everything works. So to turn it off, you press and hold, and then the power shuts off after about 2 or 3 seconds of holding. So now I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna grab a 1.5 millimeter. Nope, excuse me, it's gonna be a 2 millimeter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where the receiver is.
And then you think that whole unit's just gonna drop out from the top?
I hope.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
So now why do we care about this, guys? Because if you need to bind your transmitter, I would like to be able to answer that question and other things. Ooh, that is not feeling right. Oh, it's because this thing is slipping. My shaft is slipping.
Oh,
what the heck?
that's not good.
You know why? Because we took this off the other day.
We did. And you need another one that's the same size.
2 millimeters.
Yeah.
Do you know why we did that?
We put it in a drill.
That's right. And
I
it
don't
worked really
remember
nice.
why, but we did.
Because we were trying to set up another car. We had a bunch of stupid connection
Fender,
points.
wheel.
It was a light bar for an FMS
Oh, that's
truck.
right. Yep.
Yeah, and it was super annoying, and then it broke when we were driving it. Like immediately broke. I mean, granted, I flipped it over, so it's like I can't hardly blame the manufacturer for flipping a vehicle. But it's like you can blame them for putting a stupid thing. Oh, bonus gift, bonus gift. Yeah, bonus gift my butt. If I have to build it, it's not a bonus, China. China, listen, if I have to build it, it's just cheating. I know from experience, I know these things. Just saying. What? Why are you looking at me like that? This thing has got to be like evidently very tight. This is the most stupid thing I've done in a long time. Why did I grab this pair of lineman pliers? Good Lord.
Goodness gracious.
Why is this one so tight?
I don't know.
I'm gonna just use the German one.
Maybe, yeah, it is a German car after
Oh,
all.
good Lord. But look,
Yeah, that's
show
true.
them the shaft bending. Oh, good Lord.
Oh yeah, I can tell how tight you're twisting.
You can tell how hard I'm twisting?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've watched you do stuff. I know, a stronger answer. What?
Thanks, Clay.
Oh yeah. That's not good.
Not Dan. If you're watching this video and your name is Clay or Dan, And you have no idea what I'm talking. That is spinning still. Look, it's spinning.
Yeah.
What the heck is the deal here? Did they use like, oh, it just makes me nervous that there's a nut on there. On the backside.
Oh.
And if there's a nut on there, it could be bad. Okay. Boy, they do not make it easy to get to the receiver. Which is kind of funny because the reason we're trying to do this is just to show people how to get to the bind plug in case you need to bind your setup, okay? Those are shorter.
Okay.
Why am I using this one? I like the longer one. It's a lot easier to use. Plus, it's not made in Germany. It's made in China. China. Oh, yeah. That is so weird that that thing is slipping. That shaft.
Yeah, that is weird.
They must be in there really freaking tight because that has never happened to us before. Okay. Now, this is technically energized, so why don't I just de-energize it for safety reasons? Because nobody needs to get electrocuted on Brian Phillips RC.
No.
We'll save that for our competitors.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing is probably supposed to go over here because then it would fit better. You see that? It dropped down. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm not crazy about that either. You know what else we got to do?
What?
You know what else we got to do? We got to actually finish charging this battery.
Oh, while we're doing this.
Yeah, so let's look at this. See what I was talking about? There's this little lip there. I'm kind of guessing that we might have misgauged that. Yeah, that fits pretty good back there. That's the way that's supposed to go, guys. But it says plus and minus on it, so evidently there's an offering for their batteries. So if you guys are brand new to RC and you don't know how to charge batteries, if you have a smart battery, this thing has a smart circuit in it. It automatically balances the battery and automatically discharges, as well as collecting and sharing telemetry data through a third pin, okay? On the discharge lead, which is down here, this gray one, okay? If you're using like a dumb pack, here's an example of a dumb pack. It's an Arrows 3200. Evidently we flew an probably an F-15 twin 64 that puffed this really bad. Or I left it charged for like 2 years. And that's what happens to batteries that don't get discharged. They do that. Okay, so this one's still charging, and then this one's still charging. It's gonna take a while to get those things full. But with smart circuits, it's really nice because you don't have to babysit them. You can set the automatic discharge rates, and it's really nice. I have mine set to like 240 hours. So basically 10 days from the time that you last charged it, it'll start discharging it. And then that front part of the circuit where the wires come out will get warm because it's actually using up the energy. Okay, so now we undid those two batteries. We've got that Futaba color code going out to this. This is definitely the ESC. Definitely have a receiver in here. Definitely. Oh, there's also there's a servo in there too.
Are there screws on the bottom of that? On the bottom of that little thing that you just picked up?
I'm just looking at where the screws are. You mean on this?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I don't understand your question. The screws?
There's holes on the bottom, but I can't tell if they're screws.
What? This?
Yeah.
That's an ESC. That's an electronic speed control, guys. So you bring in your battery voltage, you split off and share BEC level voltage and signal for control, as well as there's a power switch here, okay? So the power switch is just basically superfluous to the receiver. I think it's stuck down with double-sided tape. Okay, so my concern now becomes, how the heck do you even get that thing out, guys? Look. There's definitely 2 more screws, but like, why did the screws not release? I feel like such a moron. It's like you would think I would know how to take a screw out, but you know, everybody has their limits. Good Lord. Okay, guys, trick of the day time. You know what trick of the day means, right? It's time to do things you're not supposed to do. Dun, dun, dun. Master Force, definitely not made in Germany. Okay, watch this. Bite the shaft. Okay, so I'm trying to loosen. I'm gonna bring this down to the bottom. Nope, I'm not getting enough purchase. Okay, now I I'm gonna try to bite at an angle so I can get more purchase. Yes, it's a broca fria.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, yeah, goodness gracious, guys. The camera crew said it best. Okay, so once this comes undone, I'm just kind of a little bit nervous that those are Loctited in like for good reason. We're gonna find out why we shouldn't have done this right about the time that something blows up. That's why we film everything, so there's evidence. Okay, so I am doing the exact same thing. Oh yeah, there it goes. Once it's broke free, then I can even use the slippy shaft one. Yeah, it goes fine then. So it's definitely dropping down because the screw's not raising up as much. Look at this, guys. Double fisting it. Okay, so see, I just push that down. It's got the steering servo attached to it. Yeah, that was cool. It's like a 3D maneuver of a helicopter. Eat your heart out, Clay. Maybe Dan, if you're watching. Okay, so check this out, guys. Watch this. Boom. Watch this. Boom. Oh, it's just as easy as that, folks. Oh, what the frick? There's your receiver, folks. Buried in the freaking belly of the beast with double-sided tape holding it to the side. And there's an antenna. Okay? So yeah, that is redonkulous. Okay? Wow. If there was so many good things to love about this car, that's one thing I don't. And that is how hard it is to get to the receiver. Okay? So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put an extension cord on this for the bind plug, and then I'm gonna run it through, and then we'll come right back. I'll show you how to do it. All right, guys, so we have a bind plug here. The bind plug needs to be inserted too. If you look at this receiver, right there on bind, and that allows you to rebind a transmitter to the receiver, okay? So there's also another procedure you have to do to get into bind mode on this, okay? We're gonna show you that. Right here, where is it? I don't know exactly where it is. We're gonna find that right now and come right back. All right, we found where it is, guys. It's right here.
Okay, so insert the bind plug into the bind port on the receiver.
Show them how this works. This is the receiver. The bind plug is at the top, okay?
The top, okay.
So that's why I was complaining about this earlier. Okay, look at this, guys. It's double-sided taped in. So once you pop this free, okay, try not to totally undermine your tape so you can just stick it back in there when you're done. Okay, see it pops out like this, double-sided tape style. See my double-sided tape? I'm just pushing it back. Then you have a bind plug on here. See that? It's at the top. Then I'm gonna take and use this little extension cord thing. Boom, just like that. And I'm gonna stick this out the opening, folks. Okay, just like this. It's gonna go out, okay? You're probably like, why are you worried about binding? This is a ready to run car. That's a very good point. Don't ask too many questions you don't want the answers to. The truth is, what we want to do is we want to show people if you would have a different transmitter, this is how you do it. And also, the other thing you could do is you could use another receiver if you wanted, and then you could operate this car on your other receiver, which is kind of cool. Okay, so we have the bind plug pulled up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my steering assembly receiver and all the antenna and all the crap that goes with it. I'm gonna just drop it down, okay? It's kind of an awkward application, I can tell you that from personal experience. We've done a lot of these weird things. Okay, it drops down. Once you're down, then my next thing is I want this to be accessible, so I'm still just being kind of careful how I manipulate that into a parking spot, okay? And then I got my power cord here. I've got the rest of this ESC lead here. And I'm just gonna stuff this back down in. Here on Brian Phillips RC, we like to show the whole tedious process because a lot of people will tell you how easy things are. And then you're like, but I don't even know where to start because I'm like not an airplane guy or I'm not a heli guy or whatever. So this is what we do. We show the whole tedious, painful process and all the different gripes that you might have about it. will be seen clearly in the video footage we share. And that's not, again, to be unfair to the manufacturers, because at the same time, like, you're probably not gonna rebind, but if you wanna know how to do it, this is how you do it, folks. Okay, so I'm gonna push this down, trying to get it all aligned, and it's kind of being awkward, but it's gonna work. Oh yeah, there it is. Got it, okay?
Make sure you're not pinching that servo cable on your other side.
Which servo cable?
The one that you just pulled up, the new one. I just can't see it all the way from here.
Okay, I'll just turn the thing around like this then.
Okay.
Okay, so now that it's turned around, I'm gonna just drop this down. There is a gap there. Okay. That gap is designed to allow the wire out. And I'm just making sure it does have enough gap, because you're right, it definitely feels like it's gonna be pinchy pinch. No, there's a gap.
Okay.
There's a gap.
Okay. It's too dark for me to see from that side.
Yeah. Yep, it is kind of hard to see. Okay, so now you guys are gonna see, we've got another screw here, and then we gotta screw the whole assembly back down, and these were the ones that we had such a hard time getting out, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so just verifying that we don't cut these cables as we tighten. Yep, they are moving, but barely, okay? So it's gonna be pretty tight, but I don't think we're gonna cut them, okay? So we've got enough clearance to be okay.
Okay.
I think the idea is it's going to be somewhat of like a weather-resistant plug area, okay? Now, the other thing is, I'm just gonna, while I've got this kind of upside down, this will give me a place to trap my bind cable up here, okay? That's gonna keep me away from the output shaft from the four-wheel drive, because if you hit that, it's gonna be a bad day for your bind plug, okay? Now flip this thing upside down. It's quite easy to work on upside down, which is nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now this is going to be a tedious thing, because I'm gonna have to sort of find the first hole. Oh, I got lucky. I feel like it's going already. Are you kidding? Well, it's a lot easier on the way in than it is on the way out.
It like sits on those little standoffs like perfectly.
Huh,
to have it
nice.
flipped over to work on that the top goes onto.
You're talking about the vehicle or the receiver?
The vehicle itself.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm torquing this down super tight, and then I'm gonna go opposite corners. Yeah, so I mean, it's not like it was easy, but it wasn't like super hard. It's just annoying.
And you shouldn't have to do it.
You shouldn't have to do this, because binding your transmitter to the receiver is something that you should only have to do if you get a new transmitter. Like, for instance, if your transmitter is broken when it comes out of the box or something stupid like that, that would never happen on a radio-controlled car or helicopter, right, Megan?
Right. Never.
Haha, wink, wink, nod, nod. So now you guys know how to fix it. If that would happen, I'm gonna show you the binding procedure, just so you can see that it works. And then you guys will have learned something useful from Brian Phillips RC in the painful, tedious way that we have learned to share such things. By the way, you remember how I was grabbing this shaft to torque it?
Yeah.
Why didn't I grab this bigger shaft? Oh, because it's round, that's why.
Oh.
The shaft is round. It's only keyed at the bottom in the hex configuration. So do not leave these anything less than totally torqued down and tight. Good Lord. It's like 4,000.
That was a lot of screwing.
Oh, now it's not spinning anymore. It's like a torque gauge. Oh yeah, that's really tight. Oh yeah, that's really tight. I love this screwdriver set, and yet I think we've finally found a limitation. There must be a flat somewhere on this shaft, and I didn't hit the flat. Let's show the people at home real quick.
Oh.
So if I loosen this, right, watch this. See, look, there is a flat right there. And you can see I must have been on it at one point. Okay, so I'm gonna hold that shaft at the flat and just see if I can torque this down to the flat so the set screw makes better purchase. Now, let's see if I can torque this further. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, guys.
So you're saying you didn't put your tool back together right?
I didn't. I slid it in to the cavity and then tried to ram it, and I found a partial success, but oh yeah, it's way tighter now. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Back to my favorite again. China Oh, he's cheating. Okay, so everybody listen. If you're brand new to Brian Phillips RC, painful and tedious is what we do. Okay? Not saying that there's anything painful or tedious about this car, unless, you know, say you have to rebind the transmitter or some such thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and show you the exact binding procedure. Just keep in mind, these things come out of the box ready to run, bound. Oh good, this battery's done. Okay, so we have the 5004S that we had to top off still. We're gonna go ahead and bind. I just hope we'll be able to see the process happening, okay? So what we have to do first is we have to load the battery. I'm gonna turn off the transmitter. This is obviously off. There is a power button, as we discussed earlier. So what do you think? We need the hard top, right? Don't you think?
Probably.
Okay.
It makes me feel a little bit better with the soft pack batteries.
Okay, I agree. I agree. Totally agree. Okay, so I'm putting it down like that. Okay, then this is gonna go like that. So toward the tail end of the vehicle. Drop that in. Slide this through, painfully and tediously. Pull it back. Oh yeah. It's actually not bad at all. Okay, and then same thing here, folks. Now I gotta say, batteries that are hard to load are gonna mean that you want to use the vehicle less. And I know you guys probably don't believe me, but the truth is we have a lot of vehicles. And the ones that are hard to load are the ones that are, you just quickly pick something easier. And so if it's super hard to load a battery, you need to weigh that into your decision making, okay, folks? This one's not super hard, it's just the first time. And if you had a hard pack, it would be admittedly a lot easier.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't use that.
You wouldn't use that stupid lid thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it's down, it's in. I think we're gonna be golden there. All right, so now you don't have to use this clip doohickey, but I wanted to just make sure as we were getting everything put back together, nothing got pinched, okay? This is a Gen 1, so we have a balance lead. I wanna make sure it's on the outside and it doesn't have any chance of going into an important spot like where that output shaft is, because as you can see, it spins, okay? And so first things first, in order to bind, you're gonna take your bind plug. We're gonna use our little extension cord here. The extension cord is gonna receive this. Now, it doesn't matter which direction you go, but it is keyed for what it's worth, okay? So that's gonna short signal to ground. So the outside two pins are gonna be shorted, and that's gonna force this into a bind mode. Then we're gonna plug this in powered on. Okay, we're gonna press power. Okay, so we see like flash, 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 flash.
I'm assuming
flash,
that means it's
flash, flash.
in bind mode.
Okay, look. So now what do we do?
So now it says rotate this.
You have to turn on the transmitter.
It doesn't say that, but I'm assuming
You have to turn the transmitter on.
Okay.
Okay.
So turn that on.
Come on.
Rotate to full steer and hold up, which
The
we're
heck is
assuming.
up?
I'm assuming it's that little button.
Watch. Flash, flash.
Wait,
flash,
then
flash.
power on the transmitter. Stop.
Okay,
See it?
so off.
Yep. Okay, so rotate to
Up.
full steer, hold up, then power on the transmitter. The
Turning
LED
it on.
on the transmitter will flash, which it's not doing.
Okay.
The LED on the receiver stops flashing,
Okay.
and the lights illuminate, so we didn't do it right.
So I'm gonna turn the other way.
Okay.
I'm gonna press and hold the up, and then I'm gonna turn it on. There it
There it
goes.
goes.
Okay, so now it's bound. So you guys saw what happened, so now we have control again. You can also tell that we bound because it went from not moving to moving, okay? Now we unplug the bind, power it down, power it off, just to show you how this works if you aren't familiar with binding procedures on whether it be a car or an airplane, helicopter, whatever it is. Transmitter always goes on first unless it's a weird ready to run. Then power up your vehicle, wait, look for light condition changes. Sometimes there'll be a hop or a jump, okay? In our case, it was already centered. I'll show you what it's like. I'm gonna turn the wheel, shut it off, just so you can see it a little bit easier. Transmitter's on, power the unit on. As soon as it wakes up, you're good to go, okay? So there you go, guys. Bound, ready to rock and roll. 5004S installed. lanyard on for extra nerdy effect. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, that is good. That is so good. I'm actually, it's very comfortable. I like this because it's thin.
It's thin, yeah.
Yeah, the Spectrum ones are super thick. All right, so give me the top. Let's see how bad it is to load it. My guess is it'll be super easy. Oh yeah. And then you just take these little rings, pop them down, pop them down, spin that around, pop them down. Make sure you pop these down too, guys. You don't want to just leave them off because they'll scratch the crap out of your lid.
But I like that they're attached and
I do
won't
too.
get lost.
Yeah, they're gonna break off. That'll be the first thing to break, for sure. Oh yes, that is awesome. Okay, and don't forget you got a wheelie bar, you got your speed limiter if you've got a kid using it or a me, you don't want to crash it.
I was thinking me.
So there you have it, guys. Brian Phillips RC at it again, fixing things that don't need fixed. With the Blitzkrieg.
It's just the Blitzkrieg.
The Blitzkrieg. That is hard to read that thing. Look at that. It's bad enough to read a weird word. So it's German.
You need to practice your German.
It's German. Obviously you did it wrong. So I can't wait to drive it. It's gonna be so much fun, guys. If you enjoyed the video and watching me have suffering and pain, then all you have to do to help support us is buy the planes, helicopters, quads, VTOLs, trucks, and cars from the links in the video description below. It's the best way to support Brian Phillips RC and the partners we work with, like Dan at Buddy. He's a good guy, and Clay too, but mostly Clay because he built me a helicopter. Just saying, Dan. And we really do like the guys over at Buddy. They're real nice to us, and we have had a good time working with them on just a small amount of products, but the stuff they've sent have always been really good, and we really do like OMP products, even though we say OMP wrong all the time. Please don't take it as a personal attack, Dan. I do really like those products too, especially the Challenger, which we haven't done yet, right?
Right, is that the one we haven't done?
No. So, without further ado, just in case, if you guys like the Tyrant, which is going to be evidently like 10% slower. I don't understand why. It's actually a smaller car.
Smaller, yeah.
Maybe it's the wheel size. It's got to be the wheel size. But I think these things come in pretty close on price point. So we'll link to both of these. If you haven't seen them run, you'll see them run soon. Obviously, we run our Unbox Build radio setup on cars and trucks only occasionally because most of them come out of the box, they're ready to rock and roll. All you got to do is charge a battery, but we do want you to get an idea of the full scale and spectrum of what they have to offer. And I can tell you this, having grown up with an RC10, my brother had an RC10T when we were kids, and they were so much fun, but boy, they were about half the car of this. And I think I had maybe $1,000 in that car at the time. And that was a lot of money in the 2000s, okay?
2000s?
Yeah, the early 2000s.
It was in the 90s.
It was in the 90s? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That would have been earlier, not like in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
But it was like, I mean, I thought like 40 miles an hour was fast, guys. Now we're talking about 50 plus miles an hour out of the box, ready to go. You don't even have to build the suspension members. So it's getting pretty awesome in RC. And if you're not part of it, you need to get off of the chair and get in the air is what we like to say. I come up with these punny sort of things to say.
It doesn't rhyme though when you...
Get out of the chair and into the air.
Onto the ground.
Get out of the chair and onto the ground.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Sounds a little bit weird, but that's okay. So if you guys want to buy this awesome truck or car, they're both kind of like trucks, monster trucks. Check it out, links of the video description below. If you want to support us in other ways, we have Patreon for monthly support, YouTube members would be kind of the opposite method, and then YouTube Super Thanks and PayPal if you like one-time donations. But we would rather you 100% of the time get a car, get a truck, get an airplane, get a heli, and just live the RC dream with us, because we really do enjoy this stuff. We don't just bring it to you because we're trying to sell another car for some vendor or something like that. It's really what we enjoy doing, and it's so much fun, and we have been living it for almost a decade now. So if you guys can't tell from our living room, like this is like actually where we live.
Yep.
And we actually do have
what it looks like
a lot more
most of the
airplanes,
time.
a lot more airplanes and helicopters and quads and VTOLs. I mean, there's some in there behind us. There's some in the closet there. There's some out there. There's some in the basement. There's some in 2 containers that we have now.
Rooms.
They're in the kids' rooms. It's everywhere. It is like a curse of blessings.
So if your wife ever tells you you have too much stuff, just
have her watch our video.
Show her a Brian Phillips RC video.
So, but hopefully we answered all your questions because these do look like pretty awesome cars and trucks from WOV Racing or WOV Racing, WOV Racing.
WOV.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I figured the Germans would come up with a better, more fanatical name than that.
It probably means something. We're just not up on our German.
WOV?
I don't know.
Does it mean like Wolverine or vultures?
Vultures.
I don't know. What's V stand for?
I don't know.
Wolverines of Victory? I'm sure now
Wheels.
people are going to be like, F3A, you morons.
Yeah, I
you
know.
should
We all know.
It's bringing back memories from just a few short weeks ago.
Sorry, people.
When there was something I should have known because all of you people should have told me. And yet in 10 years, nobody mentioned it. If you want to correct me like everybody else, leave it in the comments below. I'm sure I'll read it and it'll brighten my day. Oh, by the way, also colors. There are multiple color choices. This one here is red. If you didn't already look, I don't think we showed the side of the box that shows the orange. Obviously the front has orange. Wow, that thing is underwater in that picture. I wonder if it's actually supposed to go underwater. And
water yet.
Here we go. We didn't really show this yet, but it's pretty much the same. So 1/9 4-wheel drive, obviously, which we already talked about. High performance rubber tires.
And then the Tyrant comes, and we have the green. It also comes in blue, I think, are the color options.
Yeah.
that
So anything you pretty much want right out of the package, ready to rock and roll. And I gotta say, these rubber tires are really nice. So super soft, super supple, and it's gonna be super fast. So we can't wait to drive it. In fact, it's kind of killing me. So we're gonna go do that right now. Hopefully you guys already enjoyed the run portion of this unbox, build and run. But if you needed to bind your vehicle, now you know how to do it. So if you have questions, leave them down below. Thanks for watching, guys. So much more coming from Brian Phillips RC right around the corner.